Mothership, a horror survival RPG starring the cast of Beer Machine and Painting with Menoth John. Presented in Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic and exciting episode of the Mothership RPG. I am, of course, your game master, Menoth John. You know me from such things as podcasts that are completely irrelevant at this point. I am here tonight with, of course, your three of the four. You're going to notice the fourth is not with us. Three of the four of your intrepid adventurers here in the Mothership RPG. We have, of course, with us this evening, Sasha Manikov.
Здравствуй. Coming to you straight from the gutter in Cheektowaga. Yeah. You want to do beers now or you want to do beers after?
Well, let's do a quick just roundabout as who's here, and then we'll talk about who's not here and talk about him and say nasty things.
I'm here.
What about
I'm
Eric?
here.
What about Eric?
Hello. Okay.
Welcome, Eric. Thank you for being here. Of course, you know him, you love him. He's everybody's favorite GM, Mr. DVK. And, of course, we have everybody's favorite cran-eating jarhead, Joe Snuffy.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing out there?
Well, welcome, Mr. Brett Painter. Of course, as we are wont to do on this show, we start off with a little bit of a beverage update. This isn't Beer Machine. This isn't Painting with Menoth John. This there's a Talking Head song in there somewhere that I'm missing the lyrics from. But why don't we start off as we started off with Mr. Sasha Mandakov. What are you having for a beverage this evening, Mr. Telkazar?
Sure.
Welcome.
So, I didn't actually try this yet, so this is fun. This is from McKellar Brewing. McKellar is historically, I forget where in Europe, somewhere. And they now have some operations stateside.
Cool. And
you can see this really cool, like 8-bit kind of looking.
Yeah, that's
I
nifty.
don't know. Probably ancestor of Dan. I don't know. Guy is now. You may remember from an old episode of Beer Machine. A foeder is different. It's an oak storage vessel, but it is not a barrel. A foeder is typically a giant vessel. Like we're talking like 20 feet tall or like 15 feet tall oak drum. And they age beers in there, and it gives it a slightly different taste than aging on straight oak. They do it with some older style beers, especially Belgians. So this comes in at 5.6%. Wonderful nose on there. Oh, wow. This is... Imagine if you've ever tasted Duchess de Bourgogne. It's like Duchess with a little more bite because of the mango and a slight finish on coconut.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, this is good. Very refreshing, too.
I would assume
How much does the...
Go ahead.
Oh, sir, go ahead.
I was going to say, I would imagine it's not terribly oak forward, given the fact that if it's in a big
No,
vessel
no.
like that, it
'cause you don't have
probably
the surface
area to volume is going to keep that from happening.
Mm-hmm.
How much does the coconut linger?
Not very. Not very
Excellent.
at all. Yep.
Does it linger as long as
Well
the cranberry? Oh, sorry. There's
Oh, wow. That's two terrible music jokes from you tonight already.
Wow.
The night is young.
there you go. We're getting frisky here. All right, let's move on to Eric. Eric, what are you having for a beverage this evening?
So I am having some just from my cabinet mixture. It's equal parts Disaronno, Mr. Black, and milk.
Excellent. So for those of you who may not find Mr. Black in your local beverage emporium, Mr. Black is a cold brew liqueur. Tips the scale somewhere in the neighborhood of 20% alcohol.
Yeah, I think that's it roughly.
And
It is also a sweetened coffee liqueur.
yes, but not near as sweetened as like Kahlua, which is your classic. Or I've never had Tia Maria. Have you?
I haven't either.
Okay, so I'm unclear. As by the way, we have a live studio audience tonight. Belinda Librarian is in his house, working on a quilt. So
Very good.
Anyway, so yeah, that sounds really delicious because coffee and amaretto can only go well together, and a little bit of milk, giving it a little bit. Very nice, very nice. All right, Jarhead, what do you got for us?
Coming from Mobtown Brewing Company, I have the Octopus, a milkshake double IPA.
Milkshake double IPA. Interesting. Does it have any other flavors going on in it, or is it just strictly just a big blast of hops in your mouth?
It doesn't say anything. It just had a tentacle on it, and I was like, "Oh, that is appropriate for this podcast."
So before you,
this is not an anime podcast. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean,
go ahead, Dan.
We could probably put a screenshot on the front of a Miata. So
it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up.
It'll never stop. Before you open that can, what you can do is you can just lay it on its side, and you don't have to be too vigorous about it. But on your desk, just with the flat of your hand, just roll it forward, roll it back, roll it forward, roll it back. Do that a few times. And then when you open it and pour it, it should be more evenly mixed, and you're not going to get just a ton of sediment at the bottom.
Oh, well, unfortunately, I did not grab a glass, so this is me being a savage drinking straight from the can.
Well, that'll change the flavor profile as well, and it'll probably be significant. John, it'll probably be significantly less pine forward and hoppy because of that, but you might get more of the fruit notes.
It also might can forward all over your face when you open it. So please be careful.
I said gentle.
And
did you say I'm going to get a facial for my beer?
And you won't have to pay extra.
One.
And you won't have to pay extra for it. All right. Wow. So let's see. We've worked in bad music jokes and pornography so far. This is great. And hentai. So we're off to a rousing start here on the Mothership podcast.
Hey, it didn't blow up on me, so that's step one, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Now tell us about the flavor, because we are interested.
Yeah.
I'm getting a strong grapefruit flavor, with like the sweetness and the bitter hops.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Sense.
It's not as bitter as most of the IPAs, because normally I hate IPAs, but I was like, well, it says milkshake. It's got a tentacle. I'm all in.
Yep. The
double
milkshake
IPAs.
Lactose in there counteracts the bitterness.
As you do.
And double IPAs tend to be sweeter as well.
Yep.
Next time I'll have the Ruth Bader Ginsburg milkshake IPA.
Does that one also have a tentacle?
No.
I don't. Everyone's like, do we make a further joke about this?
No, we don't. We just walk away.
No, we just let it go.
Yeah, we just let it go. So when you come to John Con at the end of July, what? John Con? Yes, that's right, folks. John Con coming to a theater near you. End of July. It will be a vaccination required convention. And if you don't like that, go fuck yourself. And because it's my house, my rules. And we are going to be mothershipping. We're going to be other RPGing, and it's all for charity. We are going to be, once again, benefiting the food shelf of Racine County, or Racine City. I don't know. Racine County, I think it is. And probably do a little something for the homeless shelter that's next door to it. Belinda Librarian donated her last stimulus check to the homeless shelter because she's a good person. And they're super sweet, and that is coming. More to come. And I brought that up because Rustic Road Brewing, which is sort of the unofficial home of John Con for all things beer, is they make a lot of really good milkshake IPAs. And I probably will have at least a growler or two available at John Con. So, anywho. I myself am drinking Laird's Applejack. We haven't talked about this particular spirit recently.
No.
Laird's Applejack is So, let's talk about what Applejack is. Okay, Applejack is one of the oldest spirits that has ever been made in the United States. Very, very popular in the late 1700s. Basically, it is an apple brandy. So what they would do is they would take apple cider. They would $25 a day. It's a 3-day con because we make money, and we give it away. So open your pocket, and then you get to come. And then the
That's
Apple
what most prostitutes say too.
I was gonna say I've had events like
and
that.
she's just had a difficult time, and we're going to give money to the homeless shelter now. She's a little bit down on her luck. Anyway, so the Laird's Applejack, what they would do is they didn't have distillation columns in the colonies, probably because of the fucking Brits, and they were probably withholding them. They had a distillation tax or some bullshit. Who knows? And what they would do is they put this in a barrel and they would leave it outside, and it would freeze concentrate. Okay, so they would do that. But guess what doesn't freeze concentrate terribly well, and that's methanol. And you had to be really, really careful that as you distilled the water out of it by freeze concentration, that you did something about the methanol. And sometimes applejacking was dangerous. But this, however, is made using modern techniques now that we've shown those Brits that we can have distillation columns ourselves. And this actually is Applejack with a distilled spirit that's added to it. So it is not as Applejacky as it might otherwise. But I will tell you, I've had other of their apple brandy products, and this is the best. I've not had the bottled in bond version of this because I can't find it. Because I can't find
that
it.
Sounds good.
And that is a true straight. It is just a distillate of the apple mash. It is not a. Doesn't have any neutral grain spirits added to it, and it's aged like this one too, so it should taste good.
Just a little extra word here about Applejack, and if you're gonna look from our show here, don't do this at home, okay? If you do this at home, you need to know what you're doing, because if you have more than, I don't know, anything, if you have more than a shot of this and you didn't get rid of the methanol, you're going to go blind.
Yeah, I highly recommend a channel.
So don't make it yourself at home,
right?
Please.
So I will tell you that if you are interested in the effect of methanol on the body, I recommend a channel on YouTube called Chubby Emu. And that is one word. He is a legit doctor and does really entertaining videos about people who fuck up doing things on their own or being stupid YouTubers and TikTokers doing idiot things to themselves and what happens to their body medically. And it
sounds horrifying.
It is horrifying, and you will
I wonder if
not.
he's done an episode on the LA Beast.
Yeah, Chubby Emu is amazing to watch. He has that name because he used to be overweight. He is not anymore. He used to powerlift and stuff like that. So this guy he's got a teeny tiny little frame, but he used to be quite a bit bigger. And he started his channel as sort of a diary of his fitness journey. Keep that thought in mind, folks. Just keep that thought in mind.
And foreshadowing.
And but that's all we're gonna say. And but it's amazing. So there you have it, folks. Well, I mean, we're only 15 minutes into the show. You know, at one time, Penny with Menoth John got criticized because we spent too much time doing, like promotion and advertisements and things like that. And I don't know what they're talking. I don't know what they're talking about because, hey man, Legendary Bottle Opener says, don't make Applejack at home. You will be very sad. And so things like that happened. And anyhow, so.
But that's not chilling. That's a public safety announcement.
That is a public safety announcement. All right, kids, time to get mothershipping. All right, so
let's do it.
So, as you will recall, when last we met, the intrepid crew of the SS Tingler were upon the Alexis, and when the Alexis docked, the Alexis and the Tingler docked, the crew went on board and they met up with a couple of. They went up to the command deck and met up with a couple of intrepid androids. And they had a thrilling discussion with these androids who seemed to have no recollection of anything that was longer than 27 minutes ago. They couldn't explain where the rest of the human crew of the Alexis was, and our intrepid heroes moved on down to the hold, to the cargo hold of the Alexis, when bad things started to happen, and Eric shut down, fell to the ground, and Sergeant, excuse me, are you what is your rank anyway, Snuffy?
Meat popsicle.
Okay, you're a meat popsicle Joe Snuffy. Upon seeing the opening of what appeared to be some kind of a rift in the space-time continuum, a gateway, if you will, and something starting to crawl out of it towards our intrepid heroes, decided the right course of action was to pick up an explosive and throw it into the obviously two-way gateway that was opening up above a very strange and demonic-looking statue. How'd that work out for you, Snuff?
Worked out well. I was by the door.
Yes, you were. No one else was, though. And the grenade went through the area and landed, much to your chagrin, still in the room with you, for which I will award you 5 XP for the worst grenade idea ever.
Oh, I'm sure we can build upon that.
You know what? It may be the worst idea ever coming from Brett, but it makes sense for Joe Snuffy to do that. It's
100% in character, and he got himself 5 XP for that. Meanwhile, Sasha, earlier in the episode, you had once again proven your disdain for those of a android-style persuasion by once again pushing Eric, the hunky android, out in front and then making him carry the remains of one of the androids we found on the bridge, basically treating him as a combination of meat shield and forklift, for which I will award you 5 XP.
But he is a meat shield and forklift.
For consistency of character.
I am an expensive and valuable piece of equipment.
And a forklift. And a shield. I will also, at that point, not a lot of XPs getting handed out this time. You guys all got done with that. Dang it. Anyway, everyone, even Reggie, who couldn't find his way to the podcast today, gets 10 XPs for surviving.
Awesome.
Eric, I'm also going to give you 10 XPs for something I wrote down as a note as art check. And I believe that had something to do with where you were trying to check out the artwork of the particular sculpture that was in the...
That is correct.
And so I'll give you 10 points for doing some art checking on that.
Excellent.
I am nothing
art
if
checking.
Not art checking. It says right in the book, the Mothership manual, if you check for art, you get 10 XP. No, it doesn't. It doesn't say anything like that. Yeah, so there you have it. Now, as you got back, you disengaged from the Alexis. You thought all was just going ducky until something struck the side of your ship.
I don't know if I'd say ducky. We were pretty freaking scared about the giant thing coming toward us that suddenly vanished.
As one might be. As one might be. And now the Alexis sits decompressed. And then you got hit by something. You almost got away. Almost. And you started to get dragged down by a harpoon from the surface of the moon. The tentacle. It's like a tentacle. It's like it. It's like a tentacle shot from a cannon. It's like the best tentacles. And you started getting dragged down to the moon. And so tell me what each of you are doing as the SS Tingler is being pulled down towards the moon below.
I think I said last time was going to have the ship fire RCS to try and slow us as much as possible, and strap in and brace for impact.
Okay, so you're strapped. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I had, if I remember correctly, I had basically started to step away to check hull integrity, and then got countermanded to strap the F in.
Okay, you're strapped in. Snuffy, talk to me.
I'm strapping in because one thing that Marines know how to do is roll over training.
Right.
And we strap in.
And then, of course, Reggie, who couldn't be with us tonight, requested that he be put on autopilot because he had some commitments in real life. So in this, Dan, thank you very much. That's amazing. You put a Bob Ross in the chat room. Thank you very much. So Reggie, first off, heads over to the viewport, and he reports that you're coming down, and he can see that there are some structures that you are heading down towards. The moon below is what appears to be a sandy, very much like any moon, like our moon, if you will, powdery looking wasteland. But there he does see, as you're coming down, he sees that there's some wreckage to your southeast, very close by where you appear to be heading towards. There is what appears to be somewhat of a settlement to the high northwest, very more north than west, and somewhat of a settlement further to the due west of where we're coming down. And he's basically saying, "Hey guys, we're going down, but I think there's some structures and some things in what looks to be a craft down there, something like I can't imitate Adam if I tried." And we're coming down next to another wreck. I'm getting strapped in. And at that point, he runs to his crash chair and straps in for the last 60 seconds of what you remember before this. And impact. So, what you find, you now find yourself beginning to wake up. And I'm going to say first off, Sasha, you wake up. What do you do?
Okay.
You wake up first.
Check myself for injuries.
You are
quick.
For the most part, uninjured. You're maybe a little shooken up. You're probably a little bit dazed, but you're not. Nothing appears to be poking out of skin that you didn't expect it to. And you have the crash chair appears to have done its job.
Oh, outstanding. I yell at the computer to check vital signs of everyone on board and to run a diagnostic on Eric.
Life signs include 2 humans and 1 synthetic being. Synthetic being is in operable condition.
In space operable condition?
The synthetic,
or did you say inoperable condition?
The synthetic being, dickhead, appears operable. For fuck's sakes. Ask again, and I'll tell you the same. Perfect.
All right, so Sasha is obviously very alarmed now because he's pretty sure there are 3 humans on the ship.
Are you interested in the condition report of the ship?
Yes, as he unhooks himself and goes, whoever's closest to him, walks over to whoever's closest to him.
The ship has suffered failures in thrusters, engine, food replication, computer diagnostics unavailable for other systems.
Other systems no longer exist.
He curses out loud in a Slavic derivative tongue, and
Neo-Slav, if you will.
I heard that Universal Translator still operable. I am not your mother's vagina.
Salty vagina.
It is indeed salty.
Actually, hang on. I need to write this down. Grew up in Neo-Moscow.
Neo-Moscow. Oh, shit.
There we go. Okay.
Suddenly, Mothership became a cyberpunk.
Yeah.
RPG.
So I don't know who's closest to his chair. If it's Reggie or Snuffy.
Snuffy is closest to you, and Eric would have, I would assume, would have returned to his stasis chamber.
Yeah. I think we threw him in it.
The chair that would
Oh,
normally.
yeah, that is what happened.
Yeah, we threw him in it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You do not
He got
see.
put in the gimp box.
You do not see anyone in the additional human chair.
So I only see Snuffy.
You only see Snuffy and a trail of what appears to be blood.
Okay. Is Snuffy conscious?
Snuffy is beginning to come around.
I crack Snuffy across the face. Open hand. You want me to roll to hit him?
No,
he's
you are not allowed to roll.
He's
against
mostly
fellowship mates.
I can't imagine how badly you'd break your hand if I allowed you to roll. So no, you don't have to roll.
Perfect.
And then Rillin misses his face. No, we're not letting that happen.
Whiffs on him.
No. So, go ahead. Role play.
All right. Snuffy, wake up! We have a crash.
Sasha, you're the worst possible thing to wake up to.
I'm sorry, I'm not your babushka. Stand up.
Oh, wait, this ship's fucked up. You're the second worst possible thing to wake up to.
Congratulations. And then Sasha looks up and sees that the professor is gone, and says, "What?" And he's mumbling in Russian, and then he stops and he says, "Where's Reggie?"
I don't know. You just hit me. Is this
Sasha
a
looks at
rhetorical
him.
question, Sasha?
Sasha looks at him with the eyes of, "I'm going to smack you again, but for real this time." and then says, "Wake yourself up. I need to go find Machina." And Sasha goes to walk over to Eric's crate.
Okay. Continue.
I just realized calling it a crate kind of implies it's like a dog crate, but that's also not wrong. So
Gimp
No,
box.
apparently it's a forklift crate, but that's fine.
forklift crate. Okay. Hit the buttons on it, open the door, and press his on button.
And your button has been pushed, Eric.
Okay. Yeah. I pop out and basically hello, Heartthrob Medical Corporation thanks you for activating Eric Flare Gun. Your friendly emergency response incident flare gun. That's me. What's your crisis?
Sasha interrupts him and says, "I agree to the terms and conditions. Skip."
Eric suits up as he was because he was in his cubby, and the only difference is I now have the flare gun that comes in my equipment webbed right to the front of my vac suit.
Excellent.
Gotcha.
For those of you playing along at home, I am having some bandwidth issues in my house here this evening, so I cannot change the stream settings while we're streaming.
Okay.
That's probably a good safety feature.
I am now seeing all three of you, so I think we're probably okay.
Okay.
All right. So, you've now awoken Eric, and Snuffy, and Sasha are now awake, and you see, as I said, leading away from the seat where you would have expected to see Reggie is a blood trail heading towards the back of the Tingler, towards the what used to be probably the airlock.
Okay. I grab my SMG at the ready because things are getting weird, and I follow the trail.
Okay. So as you
Are lights working at this point, John, or flickering? Is that on? We're good, or
it's the ship is in a general state of fuckery at this point.
Fubar.
The ship, as far as you know at this point, you've got several systems down. You have taken a ship that is normally supposed to be in the sky and put it on the land. And however, there is it's told you that thrusters are offline and that there could be other important systems that are offline as well, but that is yet to be completely determined.
Okay.
So, last I heard, Sasha, you're grabbing an SMG and you are attempting to follow the blood trails.
Correct.
Okay. The blood trails are leading you to the back of the. They become more intermittent the further you follow the trail, and they lead to an area of the ship that has an airlock to the outside.
Oh.
the
Okay.
Baby bear.
The airlock
I
is
observe that it goes to the airlock and what looks like out the airlock.
Mhm.
And is there a glass, like a piece of glass in the airlock? Like,
Sure
can I
is.
see out of it?
Yep.
Oh. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I try to look outside to see if I can see anything else.
Yep, you see the other side of the airlock because it is an airlock. That means there's two doors.
Yeah.
And the outside airlock does not have a window because that's the outside hull of the ship. And that's not a place where people normally go for observation. And there is the blood trails would indicate that he had been dragged outside, but everything is closed.
Huh.
Is
Okay,
our
well, that-
observation deck on the bridge, or is it a separate observation area?
I mean, there is no like 10 forward on the Tingler. The observation that you get is from the
forward.
control. Yeah, there's a Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Do we have a Guinan too, or no?
Not in this act of the show. Nor one that I've even planned. Basically, the places that have the best viewport are, of course, the control deck, which is where you just left, and basically that's the most observation you get. And so there's nothing really you can see outside at this portion other than, that there's some blood heading out that direction. Was
Interesting.
denkst du? What do you think?
Okay. I'm gonna walk back over to Reggie or not Reggie. I'm sorry, to Snuffy and Eric, and tell them Trev blood leads outside through airlock. It looked like he was dragged.
Okay. And I seal my helmet and draw my flare gun and move to the airlock.
Okay.
Eric, do not exit spacecraft.
Okay.
I don't need you running off on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at Snuffy. I think we should probably go look for him.
Maybe we can use the ship's controls and see if we can see any structures or anything with some of the sensors.
Sasha says, it's like a light bulb goes on in his head. You can kind of see. And he goes, do we get more cut of profit if only me and you survive?
You're a shitty friend.
I'm joking. We will go find him.
Eric, don't leave me alone with Sasha here.
Okay.
That's a direct order.
Do you require a flare gun?
Not at this time, but save that for future uses.
Okay.
5 XP for flare gun joke. that nobody outside of the Fish and Sticks group understands. Plus 5 XP flare gun. Sweet.
Side note: play the Forest if you've never played it before. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
Sasha's gonna suit up.
So Snuffy had the idea to use to see if the Tingler's senses could tingle and find out if there was anything out there that might lead one, give some ideas. Is that what you're doing, or are you not doing that?
Yes. Much as Spider-Man would use his Spidey sense, I'm using the tingly sense.
Okay. The Tingler, your Spidey senses were tingling correctly. Within 5 kilometers, which is easy jogging distance. May I add? 5
Only
kilometers.
if you're a boss like Menoth John.
You see on the you see on the
Right. We're on Twitch. Someone clip that.
so your scan of the area basically shows that there is what appears to be the wreck of a similarly sized spacecraft to your direct southeast. Your sensors do pick up that there appears to be. Well, first off, there's no atmosphere outside. There is no atmosphere. This is a vacuum type moon, just like our moon is. Go outside on the moon without a spacesuit, see what happens. And there is, from what you can tell from the external cameras, which do appear to be still online, there are footsteps heading off to the north, and you can see at the very horizon what appears to be some kind of I want to say build. This is directly to the west. What appears to be a prominence coming up out of above the normal surface level of the horizon. It doesn't look terribly regular, but it is clearly some type of structure or pile of stuff.
And it looks like that's where the blood trail's going.
No, the blood trail is heading off more to the north, or the footsteps, the tracks, if you will, and but
Gotcha.
So directly, very close by is the wreck of another ship. Tracks are heading off more to the north. To the west, there is a bunch of what appears to be like a pile of whatnot.
Gotcha.
What are you doing as a group?
Sasha goes to put on his gear or his vac suit.
Good call.
And although I probably already had it on if we were gonna crash land, but
says
whatever.
the guy
Actually,
that
I didn't have
walked
time to put it
onto the space station that had a level 5 containment issue without a vac suit on. Go ahead, please tell me about how you probably had your vac suit on.
Yes. Yes. So I put my vac suit on and say to Snuffy, you ready to go outside?
No, I think I need to put my vac suit on first. That's what the smart thing would be.
What? Wait, I have to go get another box of crayons for provisions.
Oh, I thought I heard Space
Be
Cat. I
prepared.
don't know where he went though.
All right,
Oh.
so you've got your vac suit on there, Mr. Snuffy.
Yep. I tell Eric, you should suit up if you like.
I am already wearing my suit. I am the safest.
Great. It's very great.
As while he's talking, he sweeps both of you with the flare gun in his hand. Completely not taking muzzle safety into account.
You're giving me PTSD flashbacks to every goddamn range day I've been on.
You're giving me PTSD flashbacks from like Tuesday. Anyway, so
Sasha looks at Eric and he says, Eric, put flare gun in holster, okay?
I am ready.
No, put flare gun in holster.
He rewebs it to his vac suit.
Thank you.
I have many pockets. I'm prepared for most eventualities.
That's very, very good.
I can help manage your crisis.
Let's hope we don't need those skills. Snuffy, you ready to go outside?
Hell yeah, let's do this. I got point. Let's find Reggie.
You're a little overzealous, but okay, let's go.
It's because I love my friends, unlike some people who only think about monetary gains.
I was joking. Joke. You not joking, Marines? No?
We don't joke about leaving comrades behind.
okay.
I do understand comrades. Let's go. And then we go over to the door and we all cram into the airlock.
Yep.
Close the inside. Depressurize. Open the outside.
Now who's excited?
The doors open up. And much to your chagrin, there are 8 individuals in vacuum suits holding pulse rifles raised up to you. And they say, "Well, How about this? Isn't this interesting? Well, we weren't necessarily expecting this. Y'all still alive. Imagine that. That doesn't happen every day here on this mode.
I'm assuming
Hello.
this is coming through comms.
Yes, it is
Like-
coming through comms.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Eric. I think you were going to interrupt me.
Hello, I am Eric, an emergency response incident caretaker. There has been an emergency.
I hit Eric on the back of the head like this.
I'm sorry. What are you one of those there androids I keep hearing about?
I hit my
That is
comms and I
correct.
say,
You just
Eric,
need to
stop talking.
You,
Uh,
I would like you to step slightly over to the right. Would you do that for me right now, Eric?
Is this so you can shoot them and take me as a hostage?
I haven't quite decided that yet, but we're going to separate you from them. So
I
please
would
move
prefer
over
if
to your...
everyone survived.
All 8 of these pulse rifles would like you to move directly to your right 10 steps, and I would suggest you do this right now.
Eric,
Okay.
Sasha looks at Eric and he says, Eric, who do you take orders from?
I am the captain. I take orders from me.
Very good.
And I step to the. I was already stepping to the right, but I definitely say that on the open channel that I'm the captain.
That could be the best line of the episode right there.
Yep.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Sasha.
Oh my god!
says,
Oh my god! Dan and I did that at exactly the same time. That was amazing.
Sasha says over the voice comm to like the all channel voice comm, he goes, I do not know who you are, but I do not understand. And he interrupts himself, and as he's talking, he slaps the airlock button to close the outside door in front of them.
I would highly suggest that any future sudden movements by you and your group be met with a little bit more reservation, son.
Wouldn't that door close?
It closed. It's closed.
Yeah, but
The-
communications are still gonna go through.
Oh, that's cool.
You can now
Right.
stand down and get on your knees, or you will meet your maker. Now,
Aren't they on
boy.
the other side of the door?
Boy.
You stepped
Damn.
outside. I thought you stepped outside.
No, we didn't exit the we didn't exit the airlock.
Okay.
I said the
sounds
door
good.
opens.
I
and then-
apologize. I apologize. I stand.
I mean, airlocks aren't going to stop pulse rifles, but
Very good. Okay. So at this point, you notice that there is a glowing starting to appear along the edges of the airlock chamber.
Okay. I hit the comm button again, the short range comm, so they can hear me, and I tell them, "You either stand down, or I will activate ship's weapons."
Sir, the way I have approached this particular ship of yours, I don't think that you can fulfill on that particular threat. And we are about to breach your airlock within the next 5 minutes. You now are the guests of Brecht's Breakers. If you wish to continue with your current obstinance,
Brett,
we
Brett's break.
Brecht,
Okay.
Brecht,
Not
oh,
Brett's
Breaker, not
Breakers.
Brecht's Breakers.
Brecht.
Okay.
Brecht's Breakers. And if you wish to continue with your current level of lack of hospitality, we are going to be forced to take the remains of your ship for our own without your consent. Now, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Which way is it going to be, boy?
I hit the comm to go direct to Snuffy, so they can't hear. And I say to Snuffy, "This is not good."
No shit, Sherlock. Activate the weapons. See if they work.
Sounds good plan. I yell to the computer. What do we have on the ship? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
A laser
Shit, I
cutter or
posted-
something like that.
There's a laser cutter, an auto cannon, and a rigging gun.
Okay. I yell to the ship. Status report of rigging cannon or rigging gun, laser, and autocannon.
Autocannon, online. Rigging harpoon, offline.
Yep. He yells to them and he says, "Computer, target individuals attempting to enter airlock with autocannon and fire."
Targets not within firing arc.
I gotta figure that was coming.
If you really
Oh.
thought these guys were in your front arc, I can't help you. They're
I
at
don't
your
know.
they're at your airlock.
draw
Whoa. I'm like
ship,
freaking
but-
Denegra. I got back spikes. We're good, right?
Yeah.
No back arc.
Computer, target. I don't know. Is there anything else outside the ship, John? I can't remember if you said anything.
I didn't. It's lots of dust and rocks. You could target rock. I mean, I'm not sure.
There's no
what it's
other
gonna do.
objects or
No.
anything. Okay.
These guys are coming
Okay,
in.
Sasha. So we got two choices.
So
Let
me-
him in,
before
or we
I
try and
before I-
ambush 'em?
before I'm that GM. Okay, before I
Yeah.
become that GM. If you think
There's
about
only
what your
so much
ship, if you
dialogue
think about
time.
what your ship has been designed for, you were designed as a mining ship. Okay,
Right.
if I remember right.
Yeah.
And
Mhm,
correct.
the purpose of that ship would be to take things that you have maneuvered yourself in front of and extract ore or what have you from it. Or you might have some. I would even have conceded some like point defense cannons, like what you might find on the Rocinante. I'd have been fine with that. That's probably what your autocannons are. Okay.
I kind of figured.
At any
that.
rate, the turret is not going to have a field of arc that is going to bring it within the area, the airlock, only because of like fucking safety and stuff. So I'm not trying to be that guy to kind of railroad you into these guys are coming through your airlock, but they're kind
they're
of coming through
professionals.
they're professionals. They are Brecht's breakers. They might have that name for a reason, and their commentary has been such that they may have done this before.
I gotcha. Okay.
So
So we step through and close the inner airlock door.
the outer airlock door continues to glow orange and is spitting molten metal at this point. You are experiencing from your standpoint as a human, you are experiencing the scene in Aliens that they are opening up the inside of that particular ship.
Gotcha.
I am going to step alongside both of my crewmates here
Mhm.
and motion for them to basically touch helmets.
Nice, good touch.
And
Nice.
and not through the communications, but just through helmet vibration. I'm going to communicate. I believe the safest course of action is to join their crew and ingratiate ourselves, and then murder every one of them. The only way we will be allowed to leave with a ship of our own is if they are dead. They are not my crew. They are not valuable.
I grab Snuffy's helmet and
I love you so
helmet
much,
to
Dan.
helmet him.
Dan, you are my favorite one of my favorite people. You're fucking I love you. Just let's leave it at I love you. Okay.
And he says, he grabs his helmet and he says, "Snuffy, do you have grenades?"
I got 5 left after I missed through that one at the scary dude in the portal.
What do you think we give grenade to Machina, put him on other side of airlock, and don't have pin? That way they have to leave.
That seems like you're fucking our boy Hitachi over pretty hard.
What are they going to do? Shoot him? They won't shoot him. They die.
What about Eric? He's so lovable.
We can get another one.
Did you download his memory core?
We'll do that while he's standing there.
Feel like this is going to go south. Why not just wait till we hear the door open from that side and then throw the grenades through?
Okay. We do your plan. My plan is backup plan.
I'm sorry, I was despondent for a few minutes. What are you doing?
We are not
Oh.
sacrificing Eric.
Thank
we
you.
are going to open the inner airlock and wait for the outer airlock to pop and then throw a grenade through. 2 grenades. One from Snuffy, one from Sasha.
Can we close the airlock like 90% of the way so there's a gap like this?
You can
That would be
certainly
perfect.
you can certainly wedge it if you can find a piece of metal. I'm not going to tell you how to wedge your goddamn airlock.
Yeah.
Come on, Space IT, figure it out.
Tell me what you're going to do.
Rig this door up to be partial open.
How are you going to figure this? Tell me what you're doing.
Okay. I grab something of. Actually, although I take that back, we can just smack the door or the door switch and it'll just close. So it doesn't really matter, right? What do you think, Snuffy?
I'm about throwing the grenades, not about this door closing shit. You tell me.
Yeah, but you're not the ace of throwing grenades, so I don't want to be around them.
Whoa. The grenade went on target. Just because the target was not solid does not mean it's my fault.
So the outer airlock, just to confirm, of course, does not have any sort of window or viewport. It's basically a solid, rapidly glowing panel.
As I described it earlier on, it is a solid piece of some kind of space metal that is now unobtainium, and is currently glowing at the edges. Like I said, we're experiencing the scene from Aliens, where they're cutting into the lifeboat.
So, which means when they get that open, if the inner door isn't closed, the ship's going to depressurize.
Sure. I'm going to cue basically general communications.
Mm-hmm.
And
does that mean are Brex Breakers hearing this?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Wide beam.
Wide beam, yeah.
Sweet.
And just say, hello. You cannot see us on the other side of this door, so my intention is to inform you of your current situation. We would prefer to not die. Unfortunately, we have indications that you do not share that opinion.
That is absolutely false, sir. We came here protecting ourselves, wanting to discuss with you the opportunities that might exist between our two, shall we say, disparate populations.
Okay, that sounds most agreeable. Our prior plan was... I don't know about the grenades. Anyway.
That's right, traitor.
I'm not...
Right, well, hey,
they're not hearing you discuss in your head.
No, sorry, my apologies. That was
fine.
side table.
No, that's fine.
I was about to go
fine.
into something that I would not know.
Nope.
But I believe negotiations are in order. As, again, I repeat, we would prefer to not die.
As a member of Brex Breakers, that is always our first priority, is to find a common ground with our new guests.
Okay. On tight beam, basically to just the crew. I care a little less over if this one's overheard, hence why it's not just helmet-to-helmet communication.
But you give such good helmet.
The best robo dome. How to phrase this? I believe that they believe that we are defenseless. We should inform them that we are not defenseless, and if they wish to kill us, that we will not be the only ones who die.
That sounds like a very good plan, Machina.
We should close the distance rapidly, but in a outwardly friendly manner.
I don't know if I agree with that, but okay.
Because there's 8 of them against 3 of us. And how many of y'all know close quarters combat?
I have a flare gun.
That is not a close quarters combat weapon, Hitachi.
It is against your own people. I can promise you that.
So he says to Eric, and he says, "You know what? You have good rapport with them now. You tell them to, as a sign of good faith, to stop cutting through door." Why are you looking at me weird?
What?
Is he ignoring us? Did Eric turn off?
I don't know.
Hitachi!
Calculation complete. Please enter the main ship.
Okay.
And please enter the main ship and disarm yourself.
Are you talking to them, or who are you talking to?
Yeah, to them.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm talking to them.
Okay. Yeah. We
Sabotage is acceptable.
All of us were a little bit.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Sabotage is acceptable. Amazing.
So
go
ahead.
Sasha walks into the main part of the ship, and
I'm going to stay in the airlock.
Sits down, takes his SMG, and puts it like 2 feet away from himself, like so he can easily pick it up.
So what I'm hearing here, gentlemen, is that you are at this point willing to have a rational discussion about a lack of physical violence.
Sasha hits the wideband and he says, "Yes, that is correct. But first, you must stop cutting through a ship."
The door starts to decrease in glowing colors. It's moving from a bright yellow to an orange. Clearly, they appear to have stopped burning through.
May I open?
Hull.
May I? Oh, and this is wide beam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
May I open the airlock without violence?
We will not fire upon you unless we see evidence of potentially violent intentions towards us.
Thank you. I am armed with a flare gun, but I will keep my hands away.
That does sound indeed terrifying, sir, but we will not take that as an indicator of extreme prejudice in this case.
So I'm going to open the airlock, keep my hands out to the side, step out, and then say, "Hello, what agreement can we come to?"
Well, I think this is a very simple arrangement when you think about it, and I would like to appreciate. First off, I'd like to thank you, Eric, for your ability to step into a situation like this where your less synthetic members of your crew appear to have been less sympathetic to peace. You know, peace comes through strength, and you've shown me a great deal of strength in this particular case.
No.
Do they have red hats with white lettering on them?
All you see is a matte black armor upon them, on their pressure suits. Each of them with a pulse rifle. Here at Brex Breakers, we have a very simple motto. We have a very simple motto, and that is that we need to exist through salvage. Now, we have no interest in the taking of human life or artificial life for that matter, Eric. But we do need what you have. However, we are strong believers in the power of capitalism. And we are willing to discuss with you how we can help you become a better part of this society by joining us here and becoming our guests. All we require is a little bit of what you got in that ship right there.
Is this tight beamed to Eric or wide beamed?
It's wide beam.
Like
y'all
so
heard
we
it.
can all hear it.
Y'all
Okay.
heard it.
Okay. I hit the tight beam to Snuffy. What do they think we have?
How the fuck they going to act like they all calm about this shit when they implicated they shot our shit down?
I do not like it. Still, I do not understand what they want. Our ship is a wreck. We have no cargo.
Do they know we have no cargo?
Maybe not. Sasha hits the wide beam. And what did the guy identify himself from Brent's Breakers?
Brecht's
Breakers, sorry.
No,
I don't think he did.
His name is Marlowe.
Marlowe. Oh, but I wouldn't know that.
He's not so big.
So he hits the button and he says, "Hello there, sir. My name is Engineer Sasha Mandikov. To whom am I speaking?"
My name is Marlowe. I will be first in command of the 2nd Battalion of Brex Breakers. And I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Sasha. Now I'm hoping that you can show the same level of deference and rationality that Mr. Eric has shown during these particular negotiations.
Sasha says, he hears him talk, and he says, Mr. Marlowe, are you from the New Texas colony?
I'm unfamiliar with this.
Neo Texas.
I am not. I am not entirely familiar with the particular colony of which you speak. But are you trying to make light of the way that I particularly use this language?
No, you have a master of command of it. Better than my accent, for sure.
Because I would speak a little more respectfully from someone who is facing down the barrel of 8 pulse rifles.
So, to get to the business,
Yes.
what do we have that you want? We are a mining ship without any ore.
Well, I don't know that you've particularly spent a lot of time in this particular system, but if you take a look to the sky, and he points up to the sky, you'll notice that there's a wide variety of salvage opportunities here at this particular location. And here at Breck's Breakers.
You mean ship salvage?
Yes, ship salvage. These items, these ships, they appear here in the sky, and we here at Breck's Breakers, we take the opportunity to provide for us and for the other colony here on the moon. And I'm sorry, sir?
There is a colony on this moon?
Yes, indeed. We are but an outpost of this particular moon. And we here at Breck's Breakers are one of the major key, if not the key, organization that helps keep the Tyrant Beggar base online.
So Tyrant Beggar base?
Are you making fun of what we call our particular place, sir?
I'm trying to understand the naming nomenclature of this colony.
We are not in a position at this point in time to give you the lore of our history. However, if you are if you are willing to join us and be our guest, as we have very graciously extended to you, given the fact that you now reside upon a vacuum moon with limited resources, I might add, we can provide services and provide shelter for someone as unfortunate as you to have found your way to our particular little slice of hell.
So Sasha hears this and says, "We would love to take advantage of your services, but what do you want from us in return?"
Well, sir, as we have found you in space, we now find you at our feet. And we provide by bringing it down from what space has provided us. The resources that it takes to survive on a planet that would otherwise not give us the time of day. So we will come upon your ship. And we will find those things that we find necessary for life. And we will, in return, provide you the things that you need for life. And together as a community, we will find our way forward. That is the way of Breck's Breakers.
Sasha walks over to Snuffy, puts his helmet on his helmet so they can't hear. And he says,
Helmet.
I think they want powder components of our ship, so we will not be able to leave.
What makes you think this ship's going to let us leave right now anyway?
I'm an engineer. I can fix.
Space IT, you going to fix them engines? You just going to walk out there and magically, I don't know, trouble ticket the shit out of that and get it fixed?
Trouble ticket the shit out of that. That's fucking amazing. Sasha looks down at his non-existent player character sheet and says, I have engineering. I have jury rigging.
We need to negotiate for us to keep our personal effects. Otherwise, we're probably going to be slave labor. That's probably the prime motivator of these folks at this point, to keep us alive.
Hello. I would like to notify you of a potential snag in this arrangement.
Are you talking to us, Eric, or them?
Wideband.
Wideband.
Oh,
Everyone.
I'm listening.
Oh, he's narking on us.
Yes, sir, Eric. How may I be of service to you and your honorable self?
This ship belongs to the corporation that has purchased me. Our mission is to traffic materials which we have procured back to a hiring individual.
Oh, we have
Should
no
we-
we have no business in that.
Of course. Of course. I do not mean to assume that you will be involved in any of our business matters. However, our primary goal is to traffic this material back to the original source. Were we to join your illustrious organization, would we be allowed to work to acquire a craft to carry us back to our original destination?
Well, we are but a poor folk, Mr. Eric. You know, we don't have so much. We only have what we can salvage and come by. However, for the most part, most of what your ship represents, we have no interest in. You know, we know that this is where our best days will be spent here on this moon, and we need the things for our day-to-day life. We need toilet paper. You got any of that toilet paper on there?
Yes, we have some toilet paper. We can trade you.
We had a pandemic, and now we no longer have toilet paper. And
Great.
Just cut off a piece of your shirt. Use that
and
right
food,
there.
and
You
the
good to go.
foodstuffs, and there's remarkably little water on this moon, so we would want to have to discuss that with, take a look at what you've got in your stores and all that kind of thing. But I think there could be a mutually beneficial agreement here, where that y'all knew what y'all needed to get yourself back up off this rock. We'll give you that opportunity. Good luck with all that with your hyperdrive. That's still even in one piece. We've heard some tales about hyperdrives. What can happen in this part of the universe, handed down from generation to generation. But good luck with all that. But we are willing to. As we said, breakers. We bring them down. We clean them out. We send them. They are what they are after we get done with them. Perhaps there might be a thing or three that we could perhaps ease your way back into the cosmos, if you will.
Of course.
If you
One
stop,
moment,
if you
please,
stop
while we
pointing the
confirm.
autocannons at us, if that is, I remember seeing them things swavel around. Y'all can't fool us.
Sasha hits the mic and he says, "Yes, we do have operational autocannons, but do you have operational hull cutters? We will talk and be right back. One moment, please."
I'm going to tight beam just to, my compatriots here, and just
Comrades, please,
my comrades, and started off with, I believe we have encountered a community of losers. They do not wish for anything greater in life. They will not understand art. They will not understand the love of the divine that I am cultivating inside myself. We must get back to civilization.
I say to Eric, even though they may be losers are needed in society.
The world needs ditch diggers too.
Right? I believe we should join them, remain independent if possible, and then continue with the plan to salvage what we can and kill them all.
I like this idea, but do you keep it between us? Eric, can we remotely self-destruct ship?
I will consult with my expert. Sasha, can we remotely destruct the ship? A good captain delegates.
Not for nothing, but y'all are going to be about 3 levels behind Eric at the rate things are going here. Y'all better step up your RP game, because Eric is going to be 3 levels ahead of you.
Yeah, I know. I am the engineer, so I guess I would be able to determine that.
Engineer.
It literally says engineer on my page. Okay. So I have jury rigging, engineering, hacking, heavy machinery, computers.
Heavy machinery is the most valuable skill.
I'm gonna guess I could pull this off, GM, but that's up to you.
Given enough time, I believe you could pull it off.
Okay. I don't want to actually do it. I want to have a switch just in case.
Right. I believe that if given enough time within the confines of the SS Tingler, you could pull it off if if you're by yourself, you can definitely get it done. If you are with other people, it may take more time, but I believe you could pull it off with sufficient sneaking checks.
Oh,
Successful sneaking checks.
Okay.
I don't like that description.
Yeah, I don't either. Because that means if you botch it, there's a boom, I think.
There's or
they notice.
And it seems bad, man.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what's that? Hey, Sasha, let's figure out where these folks are located and if it's in the same general direction that Reggie's body got drugged. They might not be the folks who took our good buddy Brain Boy.
This is very true. Okay. I hit the wideband. Marlo.
Yes, sir.
We will exit the ship, and we will talk face to face or helmet to helmet. And as long as weapons stand down, and we will go from there. Is this acceptable?
This is very acceptable. This is always the outcome that we have looked for here at Breakers, where you can count on us to do the most with your property.
Sasha looks at Snuffy as he's talking, and he starts doing this. Because he can't see him because they're in the ship.
I saw that. No, just kidding.
So Sasha takes his SMG and he slings it over his back, muzzle down.
Okay.
Aww.
And grabs Snuffy and Eric. Actually, he looks at Eric and he says, "Eric, stay on ship for a moment, okay?"
Okay.
I will tell you what to do. Snuffy and Sasha walk over to the airlock. I don't want to speak for Snuffy, but I want to open the airlock, go through the airlock, and then go outside.
To be super clear, Marlo has only spoken to 2 of you yet.
Oh, he doesn't know Snuffy exists, does he?
He doesn't know 3 people exist. He knows 2 people
I'm going to
exist.
hide.
So, well, gentlemen, it is a distinct pleasure to meet you face to face. I have always felt that a certain bonding can occur once an individual is face to face with that other individual. Welcome to our moon.
Thank you. We find this arrangement agreeable because, as it says
you're on
in
the
the
ship.
Bible,
All of a sudden, wait
I'm
a
not.
second.
Okay.
Wait a second.
Go ahead.
I
God damn it, Eric.
I see 2 people in front of me, neither one of them with their lips moving. Yet I hear a third.
God.
I suggest that the third person in this particular crew, which we were not even aware of, present themselves, and you explain to me in very small words, very slowly, why you attempted such duplicity.
Eric,
Let me
Sasha
check
looks
my
at him.
skills.
Sasha looks at him. Oh, well, he's addressing the group, Dan.
He is, but he hasn't seen the third. He's only heard the third.
Yeah. Sasha says kind of quietly to him, he goes, "Marlo, I don't know how to say this politely. Our android is not too smart.
You tell me.
I'm sorry.
Can I
He is
use...
he is the budget emergency model. There are
Okay.
problems.
I'm
but
the GM again, Dan.
he is
What's your
nice
question?
once you get to know him.
What's your question, Dan?
Can I use linguistics
Oh,
to
God.
try to imitate Snuffy? The skill is not going to be a
Yes.
good one.
Yes,
Okay.
you can.
Oh no.
I'm going to let you do it. So we got a linguistics on... It's an intellect check, so it's
Yeah.
30 plus linguistics, and you do have... Where is linguistics?
Holy fuck.
Top the
Yeah.
skill on
Section of
trained.
skills.
Roll less than 40. Let's see what happens.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Nope. That's a no.
That is a 40 on the nose, so that is a no.
So tell me what you attempted, and I'll tell you how it turns out.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Crayons are my favorite food. And I. Crayons are my favorite food, y'all.
I am unamused by this continued duplicity when I have offered you the sanctuary and hospitality of Breck's Breakers. I suggest you two, whoever you are, get down on your knees right now. And Eric, I suggest you present yourself this moment from that ship. And I do mean this moment.
Sasha says to Marlo, he goes, "You know how I just said he's not too bright? Just he's coming."
I am tired of your discussions, Mr. Sasha. You need to shut your mouth. Mr. Eric, present yourself at the airlock as we speak.
On tight beam, to the crew, I'm just going to say, Sergeant, please remain in place. And I am, of course, going to step out of the airlock, and say, Marlo, of course I will comply. As it says in the Bible, God fights on the side of the heaviest artillery. And I believe you are the greatest armed at the moment.
What the fuck?
At this moment, you are absolutely correct, Mr. Eric. Now, we have come here, and we have provided you nothing but truth and hospitality. And you have met me with duplicity and deception. I am not comfortable with how this has our relationship has built to this point. I am going to continue to give you exactly one more opportunity before these gentlemen provide you an opportunity to re-roll your character.
Fair.
You will follow us to our base approximately 30 clicks to the west, in which we will introduce you to Brecht himself. Should you
Mr.
provide... You will hold your mouth, sir, until I am done providing you with instructions on how things are about to be. We are going to walk quietly to the west. And I do mean quietly, son. For the next 30 kilometers, at which point we will reach our base. And at that point, after I have introduced you to what might be the finest scavenger you have ever met, we will then decide whether or not you need some further re-education to the north. And at that point, you all fall very silent. And we begin to we grab our things, and we begin to march to the west. And the windows close on our adventure for the evening.
Okay.
Okay, so
Ladies
Reggie
and-
got drug north. He's fucked.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is another episode of the Mothership RPG. And we will pick our intrepid adventurers up in 2 weeks as they start their trek to the west with their kind and very, very gracious hosts, Breck's Breakers. And you will find out what happens next, and potentially what has happened to our good friend Reggie in the next episode of Mothership RPG. Good night, everybody.